On you.
Candle. Go ahead.
Oh.
40 to 50% of marriages end up in divorce, which ultimately means about 1 in every 2 kids has to watch their parents separate. Let's put this statistic to the test. Raise your hand if your parents are no longer together in this room. Okay. I would venture to say that most of you probably maybe liked having your parents divorced growing up. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you thought you had it harder than kids that had parents that were still married. VeryWellFamily.com says that kids with divorced parents are more likely to not graduate, not behave, and live in poverty. For some background information, my parents were married for about 12 years. They decided to get a divorce in 2016, and ever since then, I've lived in 2 different houses, and I've liked it that way. So I'm going to tell you some of the benefits that I enjoy as being a kid with divorced parents. Some things that are really enjoyable for kids with divorced parents is all of the 2s. The 2 holidays. Sometimes you get something at your mom's that you maybe didn't get at your dad's, or maybe you're fighting with your mom and you're not fighting with your dad, or your mom grounds you and you want to go to your dad's. I really like that part. Also, the go ask your mom statement or go ask your dad is much, much more likely to work now because your parents aren't necessarily on a team against you anymore. Or they might just be guilty that they got a divorce and want to just spoil you. So some of the benefits for the long run is when you have divorced parents, you're more likely to have a lot more mature qualities in your life. For instance, you usually grow up fast and you're more in check with reality. Not everything is as perfect as when you were born, and you'll notice that especially if you're the oldest child because you feel the need to protect your younger siblings. Another thing is you develop cooperative skills. You have to adapt a lot, and you most likely will have to meet your parents, dating people, and welcoming people into your life that you're not used to. You also will learn how to be organized and prepared. For me, this is a big one. My dad lives 30 minutes away from my mom, so if I forget something, he has to drive it all the way out to me, and then I get lectured, and then I got told I need to be more responsible and remember where my stuff is and bring it to my mom's whenever I have to go there. I'm still learning this one, and I hope I carry it with me for the rest of my life when I do learn it. I know a lot of kids will feel like their family is falling apart and everything is changing and things will never be the same, which is true, but if you have an open mind about this phrase, then you will probably actually enjoy it more. In a divorce, I found myself getting way closer with both of my parents, and I think it's easier to talk to both of them than having to talk to 2 or having to talk to 1. The big one is step-parents. Nobody wants to have a step-parent. You don't want to have someone pretending to be your mom or pretending to be your dad or having any control over you. However, I really like my stepmom, and I also like my stepbrother. I think that if you are cooperative and you are good at welcoming people into your life and you're okay with change, I've always found change super exciting. I think that most kids could really use that to their advantage and actually enjoy the people that they live with. All of these tips and tricks and all of that is very general for people in a very vanilla divorce. There are different ways to go about it. However, I challenge all of us as kids with divorced parents we don't have to end up like the delinquents that we are predicted to be. Thank you.